Hey friends, I'm Jackie Pittman. I am a women's coach, the creator of Sacred Celebration, which is a divine experience for brides to be. And I am a doTERRA leader. So I'm here to be your doTERRA support person as you tip your little toes into the essential oil world, which is really super exciting. And we are talking about Radiance for the new year. Today, in this video, we are going to talk about emotional and spiritual support. So when we talk about radiance, we're talking about the glow in our skin, the sparkle in our eyes, and that gorgeous smile on our face. Now, while we obviously can support our physical body, and we can use essential oils to support our skin, we can look after our gut health, we can exercise, we can nourish our body with supplements and with food. We can't fake the sparkle in our eyes. It's completely impossible, right? And we've witnessed it so many times where you ask someone, how are they? And they say good, but you look in their eyes and you know that they're just telling a lie, that that's not truly the case. So you can't fake the sparkle. And so I'm really sorry to break that news to you, but it means it's time for you to create more radiance in your life, and by connecting with your true self. So we're getting out of our head, we're dropping our fear, we're dropping our ego, we are dropping and moving through our blocks, and we are coming into our heart. We're starting to listen to what our heart wants, what our soul says, not what our ego says. So, this video might be a little bit woo-woo for some of you. I just want to, reiterate for those of you who are standing more in the no camp before you flick this video off, that I was a corporate worker. I am a type A personality. If you told my 15-year-old self that I would run an essential oil business, that I would have crystals and oracle decks, and I would be open to this, she literally would have thought that you were on drugs. So I 100% have come a long, long way on my journey. And it's possible for you too. And it doesn't mean that you need to start using your oils in a really hippie and spiritual way. It doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy oracle cards and throw out your wardrobe and buy, hippie clothes. You get to be you, but you just get to start connecting with this part of you rather than this part of you. So I hope you can follow along with this video and you can just remain open to what we're going to talk about. And you already are, to take this step to be curious in oils, to learn more, there's already a part of you that says, let's explore this. So you don't need to jump in, you don't need to turn into a hippie, you don't need to go on 10-day long meditations, but there are some small, simple steps that you can start incorporating into your life. So, top tips, the top tools that I use and that I have loved on this journey, and this is probably going to be more of a coaching call than more so an essential oil call, but let's just see where we go. So journaling has just been an epic tool for me, and this is something that when I was still in my no frame of mind, where everything did just seem a bit too hippie and a bit too out there, this was something that I could still do, because anger for me has always been my default emotion. So what I was able to do is, in those times where I was really angry and anxiety was coming up and overwhelm was coming up and all of these awkward feelings were coming up, I could go and get my journal and sit in my room and just write out everything that was going on. Over the years, I've started refining that a little bit so that my true thoughts and feelings are coming out on the page. So literally what I do is, generally I ask myself a question. So whatever might be going on, I'll ask a clear, open-ended question, and then I just free write. And whatever comes out, comes out. And a lot of the time you'll look at the page and see what's been written and it's just going to blow your mind because it was just an unconscious thought, something that you just weren't conscious of that comes out onto the paper. And it's really amazing. A question that I very much encourage you to start asking yourself is, what do I want? Because we're so conditioned, right? We've got society's expectations and conditioning. We've all been mostly born into a family or a family situation. And so we've got family circumstances and expectations and conditioning. We've got work expectations and conditioning, friends. There's so much going on. And so for some of us, it's quite easy to get lost in the world. I definitely was one of those people. I feel like I'm only coming into my true self over the past kind of 6 years, because I've always just been trying to fit in, just always trying to do the right thing. Only the right thing is what your heart wants, not what your head wants. So what do I want? It's such an easy question, but it's just not something that we ask. What do I want? So when you're looking at grabbing pasta for a quick meal at nighttime, just check in with yourself. What do I want? When you're asked to make a decision between going to a family event or doing something else that you feel is going to nourish you, what do I want? Do you want to go to that family thing because family is important to you? Or do you really just need to take some time out and do your own thing? What do I want? Now, this isn't a what do I not want. So it's so easy. And, I did it as well. 3 years of chronic stress. I did not want to go to that job. I didn't want to go there. But what did I want? When do we ask ourselves that question? What do I want? So ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question every single day. Ask yourself that question in your journal. Ask yourself that question when you have decisions to make. Ask yourself that question when you are deciding what foods you want to eat, when you are deciding what movie you want to watch, what you want to do on the weekend. Just constantly ask yourself that question and trust the first answer, because the first answer is often your heart, and then straight away our ego and our fear kick in and go, oh no, we shouldn't do that. So a good example of this is last summer, I was just craving to go to the beach, craving it. And at that point I lived 2 hours away from the beach. So I'd get that thought in my head, oh, I should go to the beach today. And then straight away I'd go, no, that's silly. It's such a long way just to go and jump in the ocean. But you know what? One day I did it and it was amazing. And then I said, well, why do I keep questioning myself? So try to listen to that first answer and then act on that first answer. And the more that you practice this, the better you're going to get at it. Meditating. So meditating is something that has been an absolute game changer for me. Do whatever feels good for you. So there are lots of apps that you can use. There's heaps of YouTube that you can download and listen to. I like listening to Abraham Hicks at the moment. Kundalini yoga has been just amazing for me personally. But again, Kundalini yoga at the start of my journey probably would have been a bit too much. So if you go and Google that and you're like, holy, this is a bit insane, it just might not be the right time for you. So let's talk about oils for helping us create this awareness, which is what we're doing, journaling, what do I want, meditating, yoga, jumping in the ocean, exercising, whatever it is that helps you get out of your head and start connecting with yourself is an awesome thing. So just keep doing it. Find what works for you. But let's talk about some oils that might help enhance this process for you. And this is where it does get a little bit more woo-woo, so just bear with me. All right, so we've got frankincense. So emotionally, frankincense is known as the oil of truth. So if you're journaling and you're writing down what do I want, or you're meditating on a particular question or a situation, frankincense is a really beautiful grounding oil. So it brings you back down to earth, but it also connects you with the truth. So he is a really, really beautiful oil for diffusing while meditating, for diffusing while journaling. I love putting a drop of frankincense in my cacao. You could put a drop on your third eye or onto your crown, just to get some extra insight, to access that truth. Now, I should say, when you get your oils, 100% get this book, Emotions and Essential Oils. This is a very, very well-loved copy, and this is where you learn about what the emotional benefits are of a particular oil, and then this is where you can start creating your anchoring. So let's talk about some of the other oils that you might want to use to help support that anchoring. So what we're doing is you might be working through a particular situation. So me, for example, anger. And so you can anchor into some oils, create a really beautiful blend, use one oil that you just consistently use as you're working through that situation. Does that make sense? Alrighty, so new year. As you are journaling, as you are reflecting on 2018, and as you are wanting to bring in the juiciness of 2019, wild orange is a really beautiful oil that you might want to play with. Wild orange, Mr. Joy Bubbles, is known as the oil of abundance. So you might want to play with wild orange while you're doing that particular exercise, creating your vision board. It's another great oil to use during that, just to help with that abundance, that joy. Lavender is the oil of communication. So again, when you are journaling, you might want to have lavender on your throat, on your heart potentially, to help with that communication, to help bring out that aspect. We've got tea tree, which is the oil of wellness. So we're focusing on radiance when we're talking about physical health and physical radiance. Tea tree, the oil of wellness, might be an oil that you'd like to work with. So maybe you'd like to diffuse that every single day in the morning as you're getting ready, just to anchor in to that radiance and making decisions throughout the day that really support that goal of yours. We've got citrus bliss, which is the oil of creativity. So you might be feeling blocked and stagnant in your life. You might have a situation that seems like a rock and a hard place. You might want to then work with citrus bliss to help create some more creativity in your life and in your situation. And then we've got lemon, just as a left field one. This is the oil of focus. So potentially while you're meditating, you might want to use that as a focus to bring yourself back in again. And even while you're journaling, you might have some other goals that support your radiance, or even just personal goals throughout 2019 that you want to use lemon with to create that focus. So while you're studying, before you work out, just that focus to create some more of that. So there's some ideas, guys. I know this video is crazy long now, but as you can see, I'm just so passionate about this that there's no way to just try and cut it and keep it short. It's remain open to the possibilities, I guess. Just remain open, and do what feels good for you. So if you've never done yoga before and you think that you need to go off to a 10-day course, and if that feels really good for you, do it. But if you're just trying to go to a 10-day course because you think that's the right thing to do, well, that's your head talking, that's not your heart talking. So just remember, connect in with your heart, connect in with yourself. And the more that you live in your heart, the more that you are your true self, the more those eyes of yours are going to absolutely sparkle. Sending you lots of love. I'll talk to you soon.